What's going on, guys? Your boy Tony Shen. I'm back with more beginner tutorial videos on YouTube. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. It will greatly help me provide more value to you guys in the long run, because I love giving back, especially to the YouTube community, because that's where I learned how to make beats, just by watching YouTube videos. So I want to continue to do that by providing more value in return. So it would really help out if you guys subscribe. So basically this series is tailored towards complete beginners. So if you just got FL Studio and you're trying to make your first beat, right, this would be the channel to come to. Again, like, you don't need Omnisphere, you don't need Nexus, you don't need, whatever else, like Electra X. You don't need all those expensive plugins just yet. We can just start with the stock plugins, and then we'll make these beats easy. Simple drum kits. The drum kit I'm using, I'm actually giving away for free. It's called the Tony Shen Slap Pack Volume 1. I'm actually giving it away for free in the future. So if you guys subscribe, and actually if you hit me up on Instagram at Tony Shen Productions, I'll send it to you for free. Today we're gonna make a Juice Wrld, rest in peace, or like Nick Mara type beat. Nick Mara really comes up with those like insane melodies, but he uses a lot of these plugins like Omnisphere or Electra X or whatever, and like you're just starting out. You might not be willing to invest in all that just yet, which I understand. So I'm gonna use free plugins, and we're actually start, like, when it comes to melodic beats, I like starting with FL keys, because it's just a good way of like hearing the melodies without focusing too much on sound design. It's actually something I picked up from, I think it was like Martin Garrix or Avicii. He was like, whatever, rest in peace to Avicii. I'm gonna turn the tempo up to like like 168 169. What Nick Mara or Juice Wrld's producer, he likes to do is like if you watch his videos, like, he adds melodies on top of each other to create like a complex and also very like full melody. So that can be like the first, that can be like the first, layer, and then you can follow the root note, which is E. So he's adding, more, like what Nick Mara would do. He would add like, a bass note here, maybe add some more melodies on top, or pitch this down. You pitch down an octave. All you have to do is hold control and press down. An octave is basically like, it's the same note. It's just an octave down, And then that's four bars, but I actually like doing 8-bar loops because there's less sequencing and less arranging later on. So what you can do to copy that to the next section is just Control B, and that just copies into 8-bar. Now, if you played piano before, or if you play any instrument pretty much, right? Like, you understand, like, this is the velocity, so this is like how harshly the note hits. When you play piano, obviously like the notes aren't gonna hit the same, right? And if you play it, the way it is right now, it's gonna sound kind of boring and robotic. So what we can do is hold Alt, and then press R, and then this is a randomizer, and basically it just allows you to randomize the velocity. Like if you go to the velocity knob, so press bipolar, and that'll kind of randomize it. You can also because the timing is always going to be off, right? When you play like human, it's going to be kind of off. And if it's perfectly on time, it's not kind of boring. So Alt S, and that strums it. So it kind of offsets the timing a little bit, which is. So now we're gonna, we're not gonna use FL keys is kind of like, it's not really Juice Wrld, right? So let's actually, now we can focus more on sound design, and let's go to a free plugin. Like, let's go to Poison, right? Like, they have some cool electronic sawy kind of sounds. Go to organ. Okay, so I found the sound smooth organ. Or actually bring this back up an octave. Now, if you have the producer version of FL Studio, which I'd suggest you get, it's gonna come with Grows Beat, and that's what we're gonna do next. So first, we're going to route this track to insert. So Control L, that routes it, and then let's go to Grows Beat. Find, go to like an initial preset. Default, whatever, and then you can half time it, but you can also do more cool tricks. Like I really like this pattern. Right click, hit single curve, and then just make this pattern. Like draw this out, right click again, single curve. It's kind of half time, but it's like half time at a time. I don't know how to describe it. Like I have no idea how Grows Beat works. I just trial and error or whatever, right? So I actually want some of the high, like I don't want it all the way gross beated. So what we can do is play around with the mix knob here, and that'll let like 50% of the actual sound play, and like have the other half as gross beat. And add some reverb, give it more atmosphere. Kind of like opens it up, right? Gives it more of like an environment. I need some water. So now we're gonna add a counter melody. Again, I'm gonna pull up FL keys again. So again, you can just click around and experiment. Again, when you're starting out with producing, you're making your first 50 beats or whatever, like it's all experimenting. Like you're just trying out placing notes wherever, and then seeing if they're in tune or if they sound nice together. There's no shortcut around this, Let's open up. Let's go to Harmore, I think. I think they have some. Let's look for something like ambient with Juice Wrld and like Nick Mira type beats, and these like melodic type beats. You're really looking for like ambient sounds and like very vibey and like ringy sounds. So like bells, keys. So yeah, I kind of like that. It's a little bit too loud right now, so you can turn down the gain. I'm actually gonna turn the volume knob down just a little bit, because when it comes to beats like that, right? Like yes, the melodies are important, but you really want to hear the drums the most. Like the drum really dictates the energy of the song, and that's like what you want to hit the loudest. So you usually want to turn your melodies down just a little bit, because that's also going to clash with the vocals, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so now let's layer this again, like add another layer, just like a subtle change, just to create a little bit of variation, so you don't have the same loop playing over and over again. So let's open. Let me think. I want like a pad. I want to find like a pad, like a nice ambient pad. So let's open Harmorgan, and you can copy and paste. So Control C, Control V, and then turn this off because I don't want to hear that right now. Let's click here and look for presets. I wonder if they ever have any pads. Okay, they do. Forest. Oh, just... So in case you're interested in knowing, it's called, this preset is called Mysterious Bells. Okay, so now we have the melody. Now let's go to the drums, right? Again, if you follow me on Instagram, which is @TonyShen Productions, and you DM me saying you want the Tony Shen Slap Pack Volume 1, like I'll literally send it to you for free. Like I just need to figure out a better way to do this right now, but yeah, you guys can have this drum pack for free. So again, everything I do, you guys can do at home, right? Let's open a snare. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Cloud 9 snare, and you know, you just place it here, and I don't want to keep doing it, so I'm just gonna copy and paste. So oh whoops. So how I'm doing this is just holding Control and then clicking and dragging, and that highlights it, and then pressing Shift and dragging, so that kind of duplicates it. And then hi-hat, relay hi-hat. Actually turn the gain up a little bit here. So if you right click and hit fill 2 steps, you get a easy 2-step pattern. And then if you want to do like a faster roll, just go to the magnet thing here, then you go to like half step, right? Highlight it, Control U, that articulates it. So you get like a nice roll. You can also add lower notes like. You know, hi-hats you can play around with. You know, it's up to you. You're the artist here. I'm doing this really quickly. Like usually I would actually, you know, play it out on my keyboard, but again, like I'm just doing this, you know, this is pretty easy, you know. You can, once you become experienced with this, like you'll have your own patterns that you go to. So yeah, and then add some percussions, just give it more bounce, you know, like. I'm too lazy. Once you work on more beats, like you're gonna have your go-to patterns, and you're just gonna start like knowing where to place these notes automatically, and then you're just gonna become used to it. So it just takes practice, you know. And then I'm gonna use the 808. It's gonna be like a nice short 808. The 808s, right? Because there's like a pitch to an 808, and it's like long. It's a long sound, so it's really easy to hear when you're out of tune. So usually you would have to adjust the notes and then play a certain melody even with the 808s, even though it's like a percussive instrument, right? So right now I'm just placing just to get an idea of the rhythm. Like I'm gonna work on the melody later, because this is right now when you play it's out of tune. so now we have the bounce. Now we're actually gonna start drawing in the melodies. When you press Control L, it legatos all the notes, so it's connected. That way, you know, it keeps it longer. And then, you know how like when you play an 808, like the note leaks the next note. You don't want to do that, right? So what you do is you create an envelope and you just make this pattern right here, so that, you know, when you release it, it releases as well. Like if you don't, the notes will overlap and then your bass is gonna be really muddy. So now that we got that out of the way, tune your 808s. I already know it's tuned to C, but press Control E, which opens up Edison, and then detect pitch regions, and then C, and then just make sure it's the same note as here. Right? If it's tuned to E, all you have to do is right click here and then set it to E. But right now it's in C, so we're all good. So tune your 808s, guys. And then what Nick Mira does, like, you know, Juice Wrld's producer, is he just follows the bass notes here. So all you have to do is, you know, place these on the bass notes. I guess it's a lazy way of doing this, but I mean, it'll work. I mean, it's melodically, you know, that's what happens when you have a bass. Follows the bass notes, right? Okay, so now let's add a open hi-hat just to give it more bounce. So the last step is to add the kick. Again, like if you guys want this drum kit, like you can get it for free. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and I'll send it to you for free. Just follow me, DM me, and then I'll send it. We're gonna use this kick and then turn the gain up. Actually, let me use this kick. That's the whole beat. I mean, next step, all you have to do is mix it a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna go in depth into mixing because this is a whole animal in and of itself. It's gonna take me so long to explain mixing, but like when it comes to these drums, like these drums are mostly mixed already. All you have to do is mess with the volume a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of EQ. Again, like don't, you know, if this is your first beat, don't worry about this too much just yet, because mixing, again, like the more you do it, the better you're gonna get, right? It's all about training your ears. There isn't really like a technique behind it. It's just about how your ear hears things. So with the bells, you know, you see there's a lot of like frequencies here. It's gonna clash with the other instrument, so I'm gonna cut some of it out because you don't want the same frequencies occupying the same space. Otherwise, it's gonna sound really muddy. And since I cut a bit of it out, I have to boost it back up. God, my throat is killing me. Poison. Okay, let's put this pattern here so we're in the playlist so we can actually start arranging. All you have to do is to separate all the instruments, right click the pattern and then split by channel. And then you'll have all the channels separated. we just have to arrange. So I like to do, with this type of tempo, you know, you want to fill it up to around like 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, right? That's like the time length you want to fill it. So with this tempo, you can do an 8, because this is double time again, right? So this would be like an 8-bar chorus, and then like maybe a 12-bar verse, and then like another 8-bar chorus, and another 12-bar verse, and then an 8-bar chorus. The hi-hats are kind of loud. Some areas you want to cut out the bass just to give your ears a little break and just to create contrast between the energies, you know, because bass gives you more energy, right? So cut it out, less energy, and the bass comes back in, it's good contrast. And here I'm going to cut out the drums, except for the bass. You just have the bass in the back, so you don't have like that hi-hat and the other bounce going, so you get more contrast. So now I'm going to play the beat. Before I do that, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It would greatly help out the channel, which would in turn help you, because I'm just going to be able to provide more resources to you, and you'll be able to have more value and learn quicker, you know? So here's the beat. I'm going to play it.